Hello, my name's Lisa.
Hello, Lisa.
9 out of 10 MPs surveyed believe people care what MPs think.
9 out of 10 MPs think that people care what MPs think. Yes, well, we'll go no further with that one. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Patricia.
Hello, Patricia.
9 out of 10 MPs surveyed believe they are not affected by what they think.
9 out of 10 MPs surveyed are not affected by what they think. Okay, that means something, but I'm not sure.
Hello, I'm Adrian.
Hello, Adrian.
Hello. 4 out of 10 MPs surveyed think democracy is a good idea.
How many was that?
4. 4 out of 10.
4 out of 10 MPs think that democracy is a good idea. Okay. And we have a final one down there.
Hi, I'm Susan.
Hello, Susan.
Hello. 8 out of 10 people surveyed think democracy is a good idea.
Whereas 8 out of 10 people think that democracy is a good idea. Now, isn't that interesting, the contrast? Well, this was just to give you a flavour of what's going on tonight. Obviously, we've got a few themes coming up. Very important to kind of get the ground. But the main theme of tonight is we care what you think. Now, this is incredibly important. Now, you guys, in your previous consultation exercises, you may not have done sincerity very often, but for this message that we're going to be rolling out, it's very important that you get sincerity right. So I'm going to ask you to rehearse this with me. Okay. On 3. We care what you think. Okay. 1, 2, 3. We care what you think. Oh my God, you guys, I can see that you're going to rise through the ranks, and those who are already doing well, fantastic, you're clearly earning your money. I might get a bit of a competition, because we like competition. I might get the front to do we care what you think and see if the back can come up to the same level of sincerity. So I don't know, maybe the first 3 or 4 rows. On 3. 1, 2, 3. We care what you think. Oh my God, these guys are very high ranking clearly. What about you guys at the back? Okay, we need to hear sincerity coming from you. Long distance sincerity, that televisual sincerity. Okay, on 3. 1, 2, 3. We care what you think. Clearly we put the lower ranks at the back. Okay, now on to the subject. What are we doing here? Okay, so we've got sincerity, we care what you think, we care what people think. But what are we here for? We're here for this subject. Now, in the past, the model of democracy worked like this. We had the House of Commons and the House of Lords, and that worked really well up until about the 19th century. In the 20th century, it kind of ran into a few problems. And in the 21st century, it was realised that for a kind of new global fantastic economy, the new global world where there's no horizons for anything that we do, we need another kind of house. And that house is the House of Corporations. So that's what we're doing here. This is the subject. We've got the House of Commons, the House of Lords, and now the new House of Corporations. Okay, let's talk about this. Why a House of Corporations? Why do we need this? Well, as you might know, this is, the House of Commons, so that's like Tony Blair. House of Lords, Tony Blair's friends. And House of Corporations, that's going to be there. We need a third wing to be a check and balance on how things are operating at the moment. Because we've had, the House of Commons, they come up with laws, and then it goes to the House of Lords, and the House of Lords says no, and it goes back to the House of Commons, and that happens a few times, and then the House of Commons does whatever they want. So we need actually something to actually be a check and balance on this kind of rampant craziness that's going on, and that should be the voice of the corporation, because after all, the contribution of the corporation is magnificent. And we need a voice. We here in Blackson, all of us here, we need that voice as a check and balance to any old kind of crazy crank that might come up through the other route. Okay. Now this third wing, well, this third house will be known as the third wing, because as we know, it takes 3 wings to truly fly. Okay, this is the site itself. Fantastic. You can see here, this is, the Parliament buildings where they are, and you can see that it's on the Thames. Lovely, lovely on the Thames, prime site. But look at it. Derelict. Prime derelict site, frankly. I mean, look at it. All these layabouts and pigeons. Not a very productive use of site. And some people have said it's Crown land, it's called a park. Even in those terms, it's not a productive use of our leisure. So the House of Corporations has come in to help modify that, to make it a more productive use of this space. By building upwards, we're going to have, instead of this kind of 1 person per 20 square foot kind of thing, we're going to have 1 person per 1 square foot working on top of each other in a fantastic productive unit in the House of Corporations, because we're very interested in government targets, we at Blackson, and you'll be happy with that. So this is the site itself. Fantastic, you can see, just waiting for redevelopment. All right. Now, just to give you a picture, because you guys, I don't know if you're from London or anything, but when you roll this out through the country and kind of further afield, you might need to explain where this is actually happening. So you can see that it's on the Thames. You can see that there's this bizarre kind of wilderness when there's clearly a need for a building. You know, it just doesn't work. It makes my eyes go a bit funny to suddenly see this wilderness in the middle of London. You know, we need another landmark building. That's what London needs, landmark buildings. More and more of them all over the place. So it's on the Thames like that. And another important thing for a bit later is that this is called north of the river, and this here is called south of the river. Now that's going to come in a little bit later, because different people live north and south, or at least used to. All right. Because we've thought about everything here, and we've thought about giving the people what they really want. Okay, so this is an aerial shot. Now, architects put these kinds of things in, like aerial shots and these kinds of views, in order to let people have the right kind of context for this build. It's very, very important that you enable people to see the architect's vision as they want you to see it. So we're going to have these pictures here and other kinds of pictures so that you can help people visualise this future and want to be part of it. So this aerial view, this shows you a lovely shot of it and the need for kind of more development. So here, House of Commons, here, House of Lords, and bouncing into place with all that bouncy, bouncy corporate energy, which we need, the House of Corporations. Okay. A little bit more detail before we get into the kind of next part of it and we get some feedback from you. This is the site itself. Okay, you can see this is the house where the House of Commons, House of Lords, and this is where the whole House of Corporations is. This is actually, what's it called? Representative democracy? No. The 21st century way. House of Commons representing, the people. House of Lords representing the Lords. And here, this representing the full breadth and wealth that the corporations have given to this country. So all of this here, this is representative democracy. Okay, now here, this is where the actual building will be for the House of Corporations. This area here, this will have the top 250 companies listed on the stock exchange. So that's the FTSE 250 will be here, representatives of them, plus a secretary. Here, in the middle, that's where the actual chamber will be. And here at the front, very similar to the House of Commons and the House of Lords, there'll be where the restaurants and bars and things like that are. So that's lovely. And all of that action will happen quite kind of near the Thames. Here, on the other hand, this whole area, will be where the people who like facing the public will be. So here, this will be like PR people, press people, secretaries, cleaners. They'll be here, along here. Now, some public consultations that we've done have kind of likened that to a wall. Frankly, there is no place for cynicism in a public consultation. So you move along and you say, no, this is nothing like a wall. It's not keeping some people in and some people out. This is, sadly, there's something wrong with you.